What's going on, y'all? And welcome to Double M Live. And we got a special edition of Double M Live, the Patriots preview show brought to you by BetOnline AG. Mike, nice, bro.
Back to the roots.
We're back to the roots, man. What is this? Been doing Patriots post-game shows, Patriots. What else?
Round table. Patriots talk, whatever you want to call it.
A lot. Since maybe 2013.
2013, yeah. So we back to the roots here on Double M, where it all originally got started for Marvin and myself. But yeah, we're going to hold it down here. Episode 111. 111. Patriots season preview, NFL season preview. It's the 2022 season on the horizon. And we here on Double M. We're going to get you up to date. We're going to dive in.
Yeah, give our thoughts and our opinion. You know what's crazy? When we first started doing this show, we'd be like, yo, it's episode 24. I could be like, bring up Stephon Gilmore, or bring up players' numbers. Now we at 111.
Can't do that anymore.
I can't even bring up no jersey numbers and have those quick thoughts. That we're going to have to find out a creative way to start, bringing that back. But let's not waste time here. Patriots preview show. Coming off a playoff season. Mac Jones, rookie year. The post-Brady era went into a second year. And the Patriots looked decent. They were decent. At times during the season, there were betting odds where Patriots might be a favorite to go to the Super Bowl. It was
that's crazy.
That's a wild time. The Patriots had a roller coaster of a season. They had a light schedule to start off the year, and they completely failed it. I think they started off the season like 2-4, and then went on a crazy, ridiculous 7-game winning streak to the point now everyone's like, "Oh, Bill Belichick." Oh, Patriots.
He figured it out with the rookie.
He figured it out. Yeah. This team might go all the way. And then after that, they dipped. They took a huge dip, went into the playoffs, you could say stumbling, faced the Buffalo Bills. And I don't know if I've recovered from that whooping. That was one of the biggest beatdowns I've ever seen the Patriots take, especially in a playoff game.
And you know what? If I stand corrected, the Bills owed the Patriots one. Because I believe early in the season, we got one over Buffalo.
Yeah, and then they beat us twice in a row.
Because they've been pissed. So they got us back in the regular season later on.
A couple weeks later in the regular season, they got us.
And then in the playoffs, the Buffalo Bills are, all right, no more messing around.
Yeah.
We're not on the same level as the Patriots this season. The Patriots, are not on the same level as us this time around. Because over the years, we all know Patriots have run the AFC East. The AFC East has went through New England. Mm-hmm. But Buffalo wanted to make a statement. Like I said, they got revenge after the Patriots got that real funky victory against them early in the 2021 season. The Bills got revenge later on.
They didn't throw the ball.
Yeah, they ran the whole game. They ran the whole game and was able to get the victory. I think the weather was trash. But Belichick was able to figure it out and get the win. Like I said, Buffalo was able to secure a win later on in the season. But then in the playoffs, Buffalo put their stamp on the division and declared themselves, the guys, the team that's running the AFC East. But yeah, just to kind of piggyback off of what you said, post Brady era, that was year two of not having Brady. And also the first year where they really gave Mac Jones the reins, because you remember going into the 2021 season, up until the week before the season started,
we didn't know who was
Cam Newton was still on the roster.
We weren't sure who was going to be the starter. That's true.
And you weren't sure were they going to give Cam Newton another opportunity to run it back, or were they going to go with their first round pick and possibly the new face and future of the franchise? Nobody knew. They both got chances to play in the preseason and whatnot. And I think even myself, I was on the side of, all right, you know what? Let Cam run it back. Give Cam an opportunity because I think, again, going back to the season, even previous to that, a lot of people probably felt Cam didn't get a fair shake because, Cam Newton, we could talk about who he was as a quarterback and his abilities, but the team was kind of trash. He kind of had a trash team around him. So, people hated on Cam Newton. People hated on just the team around him. There was a lot of stuff. So some people wanted to see the Patriots give Cam another opportunity with a better roster. But that week before the season started, Belichick, the team, the organization said, you know what, we're going all in on Mac Jones. And Mac Jones had a solid, up and down rookie season. He was able to make the Pro Bowl, which was, surprising, to see a rookie make the Pro Bowl. At times, you probably felt the Patriots and the offense didn't let Mac Jones just let loose. You kind of felt as if they had the clamps on him a little bit in how the offense was moving. There's some games you're like, damn, just let Mac throw the ball. And I don't know if Mac Jones averaged over 20 passing attempts a game in that rookie season. I could be wrong, but compared to what quarterbacks around the NFL average a game in terms of passing attempts, I know Mac Jones was not at the top. Some of that is, probably because he's a rookie. And at the same time, Patriots had a pretty solid running game.
Yep.
Damian Harris, Ramondre Stevenson, solid running game. But I think at times they had the clamps on Mac Jones a little bit. But here we are in year 2 of the Mac Jones experiment.
Year 2 and a lot of changes. So I think everyone knows the big change is Josh McDaniels is no longer the offensive coordinator for the New England Patriots. He's the head coach for the Las Vegas Raiders. And that right there changes everything. Everything. You got Matt Patricia, Joe Judge running the offense right now. And, I couldn't ask for any worse duo to be the offensive coordinator for the Patriots. And, as you could imagine, all reports from camp as the offense has been trash. It's been really bad. They're starting off with a new offensive system, trying to learn a whole new Kyle Shanahan-like offensive system with McDaniels gone. And we all know that McDaniels had a really intrinsic, hard offense that players would come in and really struggle with. So I guess the role this year was to dumb things down a little bit for the offense and, get things going. But it just has not worked out. Through the preseason games that we've seen, through training camps, the offense has not looked good. Mac Jones going into his second year with a whole different offensive system. We don't really know how that is going to work. I want our focus right now to be on Mac Jones. Because it starts with the quarterback, Mike. You said you mentioned it earlier. He had a solid rookie season. He was runner-up for Offensive Rookie of the Year. Obviously, that deserved to go to Jamar Chase. And I was just looking. Dude's on the NFL Top 100. At first, when I seen his name, I'm like, oh, he must be, the honorable mentions. He's number 85. Wow. So he gets respect from his players. I honestly think Mac Jones is a nice quarterback. He's okay. You can win games with Mac Jones. He has a high floor. He came into the league with a high floor. I never saw Mac Jones with a high ceiling. Nothing that he showed me in his rookie year makes me think that, he's going to be leaps and bounds better than his rookie year. He's going to improve. He's going to understand defenses better. He's going to make quicker reads. But I didn't see a ceiling for Mac Jones where I'm like, this guy is going to be a superstar. He has superstar potential. You can sometimes see bums and be like, no, but he has tools. Like you see Trey Lance, and Trey Lance is like, he can't really throw the ball right now, but his ceiling is high. If he can figure it out, he has a high ceiling. Mac Jones came with a higher floor because he's a great thrower of the football and stuff, but he doesn't have a high ceiling. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think part of that also is just, unfortunately, we come from a team that just knows what greatness looks like at the quarterback position.
Right.
And that's just, being from New England, being from Boston, watching the Patriots over the years. And with watching the Patriots, we watched Tom Brady for 19, 20 seasons. Obviously, he came into the league and the team wasn't, built necessarily around him and with throwing the ball. But as years went on, you watched the man turn into the GOAT, the greatest of all time in terms of his accuracy, his precision, the way he was able to read defenses and coverages and whatnot. We watched that transformation, and we didn't watch the transformation. The guy said, "Oh, he's okay. Oh, he's pretty good." We watched a guy go from, "Oh, he's all right," to, "Oh, you're a 6-time Super Bowl champion," like just completely dominating the league. So, I think a lot of what you're saying is true, and I agree with it. It's just, again, we know what greatness looks like at the quarterback position. So we can tell you if you're a bum and you ain't really going nowhere, or we can see some things from you and be like, okay, we know you have that trajectory to be one of the elite quarterbacks in this league. And yeah, Mac Jones didn't necessarily show anything that rookie season. Some of that is, again, the guy was 20 years old, 21, 22 years old his rookie season, so has a lot to learn. At the same time, with the Patriots and Bill Belichick and McDaniels just saying, all right, kid, go out there, drop back, and let that thing fly. No, they weren't doing that at all. So, it's a combination of things. But
so what are you expecting out of Mac Jones
going into this
season?
Year 2, if Josh McDaniels was still the offensive coordinator, I feel with his offense, and obviously Mac Jones would have had another year within that offense, I think they probably would have had more confidence with giving him the ball and letting him, drop back and do his thing. Because at the end of the day, when I look at the options he has at receivers, at tight end, he has some solid options out there. Jacoby Myers has continued to, develop. Nelson Aguilar's back with the team this year. You bring in Devontae Parker. You still have Kendrick Bourne, who's also out there next to Hunter Henry and Jonnu Smith. He has options out there to throw the ball. Right. So I feel as if McDaniels was still here, you'd see Mac Jones doing a lot more of just dropping back and throwing. Now that that's not the case, and you have Patricia and Judge running this new offense, I agree with you. It's kind of mind-boggling. Doesn't make sense as to what Bill Belichick's mindset was going in to try to have this 2 offensive coaches running offense. But I feel as if I wouldn't be surprised if we see Mac Jones similar to what we saw his rookie season. It wouldn't shock me. Because at the end of the day, while they still have these solid receivers, the running game is still there. You're hoping that, and from what I've read, it sounds like they might use Damian Harris and Ramondre Stevenson a lot more together, and maybe possibly split the carries because they trust him, and they both showed a lot last season. So it wouldn't surprise me if the Mac Jones you saw his rookie year is similar to what you're getting in year 2. There's no indication that Belichick, Judge, Patricia is going to be like, hey, we trust this kid, Mac Jones, let him go out there and do his thing. If he cracks 35, maybe 40 passing attempts a game, that's just what it is. I don't see that happening.
See, I see it the opposite way.
Really?
Yeah. I see it as, oh boy, this is it. We got to put everything on Mac Jones because I'm Joe Judge and I'm Matt Patricia. I really don't know what's going on. Mac Jones, you've been here now for 2 years. Last year we loosened it up a little bit towards the end of the year. Now it's go mode. Mm-hmm. Hey, this is your offense. This is your team. You had a whole training camp where you knew you were the guy. It wasn't that you were battling anyone. So we fit this new system for you. We didn't do it for Damian Harris, who was on an expiring contract. We did this for you. This is your team. This is how you're going to run it. And from things that I'm reading about, he's going to have to make a lot of audibles and make a lot of changes, and he's going to have control of that. So I see it as this year, he's going to have to throw the ball 30 plus times sometimes to win games. And so I see it in just a different area where it's like Patriots might not be able to afford to be very, conservative with the offense, right, and really start to attack more and make big plays, especially if you just looked at the playoffs after the Patriots got eliminated. I remember sitting watching it and like, Patriots cannot compete. They can't compete with the Herberts, the Joe Burrows, the Josh Allens of the world right now when the offense is just lighting things up. And you had Patriots that were very conservative. They were trying to beat you by the run and killing time and, the old school smash football. But there's going to be times when you're at a shootout. Every time the Patriots had a shootout, they lost. Every single time. They just weren't able to compete with that. So they need to switch things up. And you need to, in order to do that, you got to see what your quarterback has. You bring in Devontae Parker. Nelson Aguilar hasn't gotten traded yet. I told you guys from the jump that Nelson Aguilar was going to be a mistake of a signing. And so far it has been. Hopefully, he's still here. He could change things up being here for another year. But now is the time to really let Mac Jones loose. It'd be very disappointing if we were to see the same type of offense as last year when it's very run heavy and keeping Mac Jones conservative.
And I hear what you're saying. I think where I'm wary is the fact that this confusion, it seems from everything coming out of training camp, this confusion with the offense.
Yeah.
This confusion with the fact that you got these two guys, nobody's really offensive coordinator. You got these two guys who are essentially working together to figure out the offense. And Patricia, who was never on the offensive side of the ball when he was here in New England originally, if I stand corrected, and then Judge, who what was his role again when he was here?
He was special teams.
Special teams. So you got two guys who were previously here who didn't have much say. I mean, they were probably in on all the coaches' meetings and whatnot, but didn't have much say on, the offensive side of the football. McDaniels was here for a long period of time. I don't know if those guys were here previous to McDaniels when it was Jim O'Brien. I don't know if any of those guys
Bill
Patricia,
O'Brien.
Patricia. So you got some carryover from other guys, but it's just confusing. So that's where I'm wary. At the same time, while I'm worried that it could look similar to last season with Mac Jones, I love the weapons that the Patriots have on offense. Obviously, you don't have any type of Devontae Adams or DeAndre Hopkins or any type of game changer out there like that on this Patriots roster in terms of wide receiver. But you got guys who just know what their job is and just will go out there and handle business. Jacoby Myers is going into a year four.
Year 4.
And he's been pretty damn reliable the whole time he's been here. Obviously, has he put up, Pro Bowl, all pro type of numbers? No, but he's been a huge part of the offense. Bourne has also been solid going into his second year. I mean, I like what he brought his first year. I know you hated Nelson Aguilar. He didn't do anything crazy. At the same time, the Patriots weren't probably utilizing him a lot. But you bring in another guy who drops Aguilar down on the depth chart a little bit in Devontae Parker, who I believe is a solid wide receiver. So the Patriots have options at the receiver position. On top of the fact, you got to remember, Hunter Henry at times looked like Mac Jones' go-to receiver out there. And people wanted to see more from Jonnu Smith, but he just wasn't getting the opportunity. Again, limited offense just on how they were running things in 2021. But I like the options that Mac Jones has out there. And we've seen from Belichick's teams, the offense don't need much to be successful. Like, you don't necessarily have to have a star receiver or a star tight end. Obviously, the Patriots have been blessed with, Rob Gronkowski for many years, and then, you had a year of Randy Moss and blessed to have Edelman. A lot of that's Brady too, but I like what Mac Jones has out there to work with. It's just all about, back to what you're saying, will these guys give Mac Jones the ball and let him rock?
We're going to hear more about the Patriots offense in a minute after word from our sponsors. This episode of Double M is brought to you by BetOnline AG. BetOnline is the fastest and easiest way to wager on all your favorite sports contests, and even with first-to-market odds and lines.
Find reviews and news of every league, including Major League Baseball, NFL, NBA, NHL, combat sports, esports, and even golf.
BetOnline continues to be the top online resource for all your sports information, from live in-game betting, props, and futures.
Head to BetOnline today or use your mobile device to join today and make your first sports bet. Use our promo code CLNS50 to receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit.
Bet online where the game starts. So back to the offense, Mike. We spoke a little bit about Mac Jones. Things that have been coming out of training camp also is the run's been trash. The running game has not been working. The zone runs has not been successful. And then you have an offensive line problem. And that right there is an issue. Anytime you have a young quarterback and you cannot protect him, your team most likely not going to be successful. Excuse me. We saw how the Patriots started off last year. And a big reason they started off slow was due to the fact that their offensive line was trash. It was really bad. You thought you got over the times when you had Newhouse being the left tackle. You remember all those dudes? But now you trade away Shaq Mason. You trade away Shaq Mason. You lose Ted Karras, but you still have Trent Brown. You still have Isaiah Wynn. You still have your core pieces there. But the offensive line has not been great. Isaiah Wynn, your first round draft pick that you had, hasn't been there. He's in trade rumors now. He's been in trade rumors all year because he's just a guy. He's just a guy out there. He's never been healthy throughout this whole campaign with the Patriots. He has not been healthy. Trent Brown, he's in his second stint with the Patriots. Solid. If you can have him there at the left tackle and he can stay healthy, that's solid. But you need to make sure that the left tackle and the right tackles are going to be there for you. Otherwise, it's over with for this team. The run hasn't been working. If Mac Jones does not have the run working, I don't think Mac Jones is that type of quarterback that can just win you a game if he's not protected.
Yeah, I mean, sorry to cut you off.
No, go ahead. You're
still a young quarterback, only going into year 2. And when you have a quarterback like that, and especially a quarterback like Mac Jones, who, again, year 2, he's not like a superstar caliber player at this current moment in time, but you obviously want and would hope to have a strong offensive line in front of him. You listed names right there. There's only 2 guys I really trust on the line, and that's Andrews and Trent Brown.
Right.
It's the only 2 guys.
What about our right guard, Michael on the win, my cousin?
I mean,
he's been solid.
He's been solid. He's a guy that you hear his name a lot, but I think collectively the offensive line is struggling. And the thing with the Patriots offensive line we've seen over the years, it's rare that a team has like a consistent offensive line throughout the whole season.
Right.
Like those dudes are up there battling, tackling, moving. Their ankles get twisted up, their knees get twisted up. It happens a lot. And sometimes, I remember there was one season bad. I forgot what year it was. I think it was near Newhouse and they were moving Cannon around. I don't even know. But we've seen years where the Patriots will mix and match different type of offensive line because of just injuries and guys in and out of the lineups for various reasons, most likely because of injuries. But it's rare that you have a consistent offensive line from week 1 all the way to week 17, 18 through the playoffs or whatnot. But I really trust
at full health.
At full health, it's rare. It's very rare.
But I'm saying to be struggling and you're at full health.
At full health is a problem. Like I said, I only trust Trent Brown and David Andrews. Now, if there's one area the Patriots sometimes find success in drafting, it's with the offensive line. Like they drafted this guy Cole Strange, and I haven't been hearing his name too much. But, I mean, he's obviously won a starting spot. And, I mean, he was their first round friggin' draft pick. He better be starting. But a lot of that success that has come sometimes with the Patriots' offensive line has been because the offensive line coach, Dante Starnecchia, who is no longer there. I think he retired. He came back, retired again.
Yeah, he ain't bringing him back no more.
Yeah, that guy needs to just enjoy his time in retirement. But you would hope that the offensive line doesn't fall off that much because that offensive line coach is no longer there, and that seems to be the case. The run game is struggling, and then again, talk about Mac Jones, like I said, being a young quarterback, it just makes things that much tougher for him if the guys in front are struggling to protect you or struggling to help open up the run game, which can, in a sense, open up the rest of the game. So you hope that these guys can stay healthy. Obviously, the starters that you have that are probably going to start the season, you hope that they can stay healthy. A guy like Cole Strange, you hope that he continues to develop and be someone that can be relied upon. And then the veterans out there like David Andrews and Trent Brown, you hope that their veteran leadership can help sustain offensive line, because that's what it's really going to boil down to. Obviously, maybe the coaching is not the same with a guy like Dante Starnecki gone, but there's still some veteran leadership on that offensive line. And I think David Andrews is a vocal leader. I think he's definitely one of the leaders on that team, and the offensive line for sure is going to need that, because that's going to be key in trying to open up the offense as the season goes on.
Before we move on to defenses, today as we record on August 30th, all the NFL teams needed to cut their roster to 53-man roster. Obviously, there's still time for changes. Teams can get pick up players from waivers and such. So the roster that is officially happening right now will not probably be the roster that goes into next week in the season, because you're going to pick up guys from practice squad and such. Not many real surprises for the Patriots with the NFL cuts. No real major names. One that stuck out was Devin Asiasi.
Devin Asiasi.
Yeah, you know why I don't know his name?
Don't say it. Come on, family
He's
show.
Asiasi.
Come on.
Come on, bro.
Family show, bro.
So the reason I don't know that dude's name.
Disrespect his name.
Golly.
Jeez Louise.
Asiasi. Bye. Listen. We drafted Dalton Keene and Asiasi. And we didn't see a lick from third round. We didn't see those dudes produce once. And Asiasi was decent. It looked like it was an okay pass catcher. He got a little touchdown last year. I remember that. Gone. And it just goes back to how the Patriots have been failing to draft offensive weapons. We're talking about in the past, 3-4 years? Who's been successful for the Patriots? Sony Michel. And Sony Michel just got cut by the Miami Dolphins a couple of days ago. No one even knew he was on the Dolphins roster.
I surely did it.
That was random as hell. The draft class in these past years have been poor, and is the reason why you're going into this season looking crazy.
So, as you talk about the draft, this guy Bill Barnwell tweeted out and said the Patriots had 13 first, second, and third round picks between 2018 and 2020. As it stands right now, only 2 of those 13 players have maybe panned out. You want to hear this list?
Yes.
Got you. Isaiah Wynn, first round 2018. Still on the team, but they looking to move on from him. Sony Michel, first round 2018. Yeah, 1-2 years?
He got us a chip.
True. So I guess he somewhat panned out. Duke Dawson, cornerback, second round of 2018. Says he never even played with the team.
Yeah, bro. Sorry. I was hopeful. I was hopeful for him.
Do you know this guy? 2019 first round, N'Keal Harry. I don't even have to say any more about that.
Keep it pushing.
2019 second round cornerback, Jojuan Williams. Started 1 game in 3 years.
Keep it moving. I like Juwan too.
2019 third round edge rusher, Chase Winovich.
Belichick hated that guy. He had potential. Belichick
1 year. He only had 1 year with only 30% of defensive snaps. So
Belichick
I don't know why draft it. Why draft it? 2019 third round, Damian Harris. He's panned out, obviously. 2019 third round tackle, Yodny Cassius. Something. Played 7 games in 3 years. That says a lot right there. 2020 second round, Kyle Duggar.
Yes.
He's solid. I like Carter Duggar. 2020 second round, Josh Uche.
Still the book's
Jury's still out.
Yep,
Jury's still out.
Book's
Okay.
still out on him.
2020 third round, Anthony Jennings. Also another guy, jury's still. I think he got injured his first year.
Yep.
And then the two tight ends you just mentioned, Devin Asiasi and Dalton Keene. Devin Asiasi had 2 catches in 2 seasons before being cut. And then the Keene had 3 catches in 2 seasons before being cut.
Trash.
So that's the last 3 years in the type of drafting the Patriots have been doing, especially in the early rounds where you're assuming you're probably taking your first 3 rounds, you're taking some guys who you think can pan out.
Yeah.
Obviously, you can find some gems maybe later on, 5th, 6th, 4th round, but the first 2 rounds, you're assuming you're drafting guys who's going to pan out for your team. And not to say that, teams always hit in the draft. It's not the case. But for some reason, for the Patriots, and for some reason during this Belichick era, and we're talking since 2000, he came with the team, just seems like they got more misses than hits when it comes to drafting.
It's a fact now. And that's, we talk about legacy and Bill Belichick, and this is not good. It's not a good look on how you build a team. Real quick, we are live. We got our boy Sly here showing some love. He's asking us what our projection for the Pats. I get the draft ain't the best, but look at our signing out of the draft. Not as bad. Where we'll get to the projections for the Pats and soon come. Mm-hmm. But Sean brings up that, okay, so the draft's been pretty trash.
Yep.
But the signings haven't been as bad. Look, Patriots in the 20 years that we've been following their greatness, last year was the first time we actually seen them spend some money. Out of all the times that when they really put money down was last year when they went to go get Jonnu Smith and
Hunter
Henry. And who else did they get on the defensive end? Matthew Judon. That's when they put money in it. All 2 out of the 3 so far really seem like they got Jalen Mills as well, who's probably going to be our number 1 corner this year. We're going to talk about defense. Yes, the signings haven't been as bad, but the reason you put up all this money
is because you don't know how to draft.
You can't draft anyone.
Yeah.
That's the reason why you had to sign 2 tight ends, big money, after drafting 2 tight ends in the 3rd round.
It's pretty bad.
That's bad.
Pretty bad.
That is bad.
It's pretty bad. Like I said, and obviously, the hardware behind Belichick, you can't really make too many arguments about it. The man has 6 Super Bowl championships.
Right.
But is it wild to say, obviously through all those years in the championships, he's made signings that have probably more contributed to those championships than drafting? Is it wild to say that? I'm even thinking back to when they beat the Seahawks.
That was a big signing.
That defense was crazy. But let's talk about it.
Brandon Brower, they had Darrell Revis.
There's probably some names I'm forgetting.
You had all 3 of the big. You had Chandler Jones. You had Dante Hightower still.
But we drafted those guys,
and you had Collins. You had that trio.
Drafted, yep.
And then the signings that year, the defense was a force.
And I'm not only talking championship seasons. I'm talking years they won a championship, years they didn't win a championship. Look at 2007. Brady went off with that offense. Which one of them, his top 3 receivers, and from that offense, Welker signed him, Moss signed him, Stallworth signed him.
Right.
Where was receivers that we could have maybe developed and would break? Like, I hope it's not wild to say that we've signed more players that have obviously helped in the Patriots' success than drafting, because We know if you're a Patriots fan, you know the Patriots have been sorry in terms of drafting. Is it all sorry and trash? No. There are definitely guys who panned out. I could definitely list guys who panned out for the Patriots that they've drafted. But at the same time, there's been a lot of misses.
Yeah, absolutely. We got Decal saying that what we're also not mentioning is Bill traded up to get both of those tight ends. Three fourth rounders and a sixth round to net both drafted tight ends, to cut them both and pay $25 million at the position. It's you're just gonna piss me off and make it just make it worse. Yeah, it was really bad. And you know, Bill Belichick, someone who's prideful, and I was shocked that he went out to go get 2 tight end free agents, knowing that he just had drafted two tight ends. Because you never want to admit a mistake like that, saying, okay, I just drafted these 2 young guys. The second year in, they suck.
Oh,
let me go get somebody else. Low-key could have given Brady and Gronk the bag and save yourself.
Hey, man.
Hey, this is 2022 preview
Decal,
show.
bro.
We're going to take this.
You're going to open up a can of worms that I could dive in and go off about.
You're going to get this
because
guy.
I tell you, there's no reason why
Hey,
Brady
boy.
should still be a Patriot right now.
Here he goes.
Brady should still be a Patriot right now. You know what?
Hey,
for all you
Jesus.
Boston sports fans,
Decal, look what you did.
all you Boston sports fans, Michael Felger on 98.5, the Sports Hub, went off about it. And he made it simple because a lot of people have their thoughts and opinions and feelings about Brady not being a Patriot anymore. And he said what I agree with. Brady wanted to be in New England. And I felt Brady wanted to be in New England. I think you feel differently. I think you're on the set that Brady wanted to be out of here.
He wanted to be out.
Brady, I think, wanted to be here. And I think Patriots just weren't trying to succumb to his needs or pay him what he wanted. I think that's what it boiled down to. Brady wanted out because they weren't trying to pay him. And I think from what Michael Felger said, Brady wanted 2 years, $50 million. 2 years, $50 million. And on top of wanting 2 years, $50 million, because he could have definitely asked for more money than that. There's quarterbacks in this league making crazy, stupid money. Brady wasn't looking for that. And at the same time, Patriots weren't doing anything to really help bolster the roster around him.
That I don't agree with.
I believe
That's
that.
not true.
Because I think he went to Tampa Bay and bam, they started. What you want, Brady?
Patriots gave
You want Brady? What
Brady
you want? What you want?
Patriots try to give Brady everything he wanted.
I'm not going to dive into it. I'm just going to stand by the fact that I think if Patriots really wanted to keep Brady a Patriot for life, they could have made it happen. There's no way the amount of love that Kraft speaks up about Brady and the team and how much. I know Bill Belichick seen him in his ways and ready to move on. I think if they really wanted Brady here long term, it could have happened. But it's 2022 preview show.
2022 preview show.
I'm not going back to that. But Decal brought something, really struck a nerve real quick.
And now you see, I know what Decal's trying to do. I guess I see what he's trying to do. I'm not even gonna touch the Nick Chubb, Sonny Michel thing because I see what you're trying to do.
Let's stick to 2022. We can't go back in the
do.
past, even though Brady could have still been here. But
okay, let's talk defense.
Let's move on.
Appreciate everyone tuned in right now. Double M Alive. We're talking Patriots. Let us know how you feel, your thoughts, your feelings. 22 Patriots. Let's talk a little bit defense. Defensively, Patriots were the second best team on defense last year. You had Matthew Judon. You had Christian Barmore, the rookie that you drafted who became a stud. Those two guys lost a lot of steam towards the end of the year. You bring back McCourty, who I think is really important that you still have him out there in the backfield. We mentioned Duggar earlier.
I like Duggar a lot.
I think Duggar's going to take that next step. I like Phillips that we have. I think our safeties are very strong. I think our D-line is pretty good. It's pretty decent. The linebacker position is where things get a little shaky for me personally, how that team looks. We were slow. Patriots were very slow defensively, and it showed up in the It showed up in the Buffalo game, how slow they were. Right now, the linebackers, you have Bentley, Jennings, Judon, McMillan, Tavai Uche, and Mac Wilson. Mac Wilson, hopefully he gets a chance now to really show what he can be. You're younger. Bentley looked as slow as Hightower out there at time. So
Uche, didn't he break? He was out. No, it was not Uche's. I must be thinking of somebody else. But I thought there was a linebacker who broke their arm or something earlier in the season and missed a lot of time. I thought it was Uche.
Mac Wilson was a player that we traded for and got hurt.
It could be who I'm thinking of.
This year we're going to see what he does. But the linebacker position, there's no speed there. Patriots still are very slow to me in that aspect. Yes, they had a great defense, but if you remember, they couldn't stop the run.
That's been the story of the Patriots over the last several seasons.
Patriots could not stop the run when it mattered. I know I keep bringing up the Buffalo game, but who's the running back for the Buffalo Bills?
Singletary
is Dookie. Singletary was gashing up the Patriots. That's just to show you what type of run defense they had. Yes, you had Barmore. Yes, you had Judon. Those guys were completely different by the end of the season. This lost steam. Judon was at a point a defensive player of the year candidate.
Oh, I got the stat right here. Judon started off the first 13 games of the season with 12 and a half sacks. First 13 games, 12 and a half sacks.
Yeah,
the final 5 games, he was held to just no sacks, actually. Final 5 games. And he only had 2 quarterback hits in that stretch.
Listen,
after going for 12 and a half sacks the first 13 games. He just disappeared.
This was his celebration, right? He'll sniff up with his red sleeve. Somebody gave that dude some NyQuil because he wasn't sniffing nothing no more. Judon was stopped. It just looked like a completely different player. If it was injuries, if it was anything like that, we hope that he comes into this year. Because he was a game changer for the Patriots. When the Patriots went on that 7-game run, it was Judon who was really like that defensive leader where you looked at him and you said, okay, this is good. Also, another player who was really good for us, J.C. Jackson. That's getting forgotten through all the offensive mishaps that we've been talking about throughout this training camp. But J.C. Jackson is no longer on this team.
Big loss.
That's a ball hawk. That bumps up Jalen Mills to be your number 1 corner. Now, you drafted some guys here, some Marcus Jones and Jack Jones, who looked pretty damn good throughout training camp, looked pretty damn good in the preseason. I know that Malcolm Butler got hurt. But I even think even if Malcolm Butler was healthy, those 2 guys were gonna show Malcolm Butler out the door. They're that nice, and so you got some young studs. I like Miles Bryant. When he's not on the outside, you're not really counting on him. Maybe in nickel and dime packages, and you bring back Jonathan Jones, who was a huge loss last year for the Patriots.
That's probably who I'm thinking of. He got hurt early in the season. We lost him early in the season, and then we had to rely more on Jalen Mills.
Mills and Miles Bryant.
Yeah, okay.
It was scary. Yeah. It was scary hours for the Patriots defensively when it comes to that.
Yeah, I mean, when I look at the Patriots defense, obviously, once again, I'm back to this mindset of you might see a year with a lot of bend, don't break.
And that's not going to
bend, don't break. Will there be the team that gets the most sacks?
They broke last year.
Will there be a team that gets the most sacks and turnovers and forced fumbles? No. But because their secondary might be solid, and looking at the whole defense, the secondary might be the strongest part of the defense. There might be a team that don't give a lot of touchdowns. They might be solid in that aspect. Here's a loss that we haven't talked about yet and hasn't really been talked about at all. But Hightower's gone, and I know over the last couple of seasons, Hightower definitely got slower and slower and slower.
It didn't look good for Buddy.
It didn't look good for Dante Hightower. He slowed down. I believe he's still a free agent as we speak. But in terms, again, you talk about a guy like him, talk about a guy like McCourty, having their veteran leadership out there is crucial. Sometimes, obviously, you got veterans out there. Are they the same guys that they once were early on in their career? Maybe not. But something about just that veteran leadership, veteran presence is still huge. Now, McCourty's still there. He can do that and bring that veteran leadership to the team. Judon, who's been in the league for several years now, you got some leadership from him. Obviously, he probably feels more comfortable in his second year. But I'm looking especially at these two guys, who's going to be the ones to step up. Bentley and Uche.
Sheesh.
I'm looking at one of them two to step up. Obviously, I have faith that Matthew.
It'll be Bentley.
I have faith that Matthew Judon will, hopefully regain his form of what we saw in those first 13 games of 2021 season. But in terms of other linebackers up there, obviously you said Mac Wilson. We're hoping to see something from him. But Bentley, Uche are going into the third, fourth seasons now with the team. They know what Bill Belichick likes. They know what the defense is all about. In terms of the team, they're veterans. And you're looking around the rest of the guys on the team. I'm looking for one of them, hopefully both of them, to take that next step and be another leader out there, especially in terms of the linebacker. Like I said, I'm assuming Matt Judon is going to be really taking the lead with that linebacker group. But talk about Uche and Bentley, guys that the Patriots drafted. Which one, hopefully both, can really be relied upon out there, can really be turned to it as, okay, they're going to make an impact on this game. Okay, their voice is going to be heard. Okay, we're going through weeks and weeks and saying that one or both are guys on the defense that name continues to stand out week after week after week. That's what I'm hoping to see. That's my hope. That's what I'm looking to watch for. But in terms of the defense overall, I definitely feel the secondary is stronger than those guys up front. Let's see what we get more out of Christian Barmore up there. Dietrich Wise is another guy who's been here for several years now, who has some leadership behind him as well.
I like Dietrich. He's stepped up.
So I like the defense overall. There's a chance because, like you're saying, will there be a lot of speed there? Who knows? Another guy that I want to bring up, Anthony Jennings, coming out of Alabama as well. Patriots love their Alabama guys.
And he plays a hybrid role.
Yeah.
Safety, linebacker.
I think he might be another guy who got hurt, who didn't get a chance to play a lot his rookie season or whatnot. So he's only in, year, maybe 2 or 3 now. But if you coming out of Alabama, I already got high hopes for you. That's just me. I know I took a hit for my guy Cyrus Jones from a couple of years ago.
I'm telling you, brother. Sometimes you just gotta do the eye test.
But coming out of Alabama so far, you got a guy like Damian Harris out of Alabama, solid. Mac Jones, hey, he's still the starting quarterback. I'm hoping that Anthony Jennings can also be a name that we hear about a lot in terms of that linebacker crew. After Judon, who's going to be the next up to really get at the quarterback? Who knows? I don't know. But it remains to be seen. But I definitely like the secondary a lot.
Yeah, secondaries, they're strong. So with the safeties, we'll see what we'll get out of the rookie corners that we mentioned. As we close out, this Patriots preview show, we obviously got to go over the schedule. We gotta give out our predictions. So this is how we're gonna do it, Mike Nice. We're just gonna go by game, give out our predictions, and see what our record is going to be.
Also, while we're doing that, for those who are still tuned in for sure, as we go through the list of games, please drop your thoughts and feelings as well. With a week 1, 2, drop a W, drop a L of what you think the outcome is going to be, so we can all have our predictions. Marv's going to have his, I'm going to have mine, and those who are still rocking with us in the chat, for sure, we want yours as well, so we can all analyze together.
All right, it started off Sunday of September 11th. Patriots traveled to Miami, a revamped Miami Dolphins team. Real quick, Mike Nice, win or L?
Win.
Have Patriots losing that game.
Okay.
That's first L going into Miami. We already know what that's about. Patriots Steelers. And once again, this game is on the road. Patriots start off on the road twice before they get home. So Steelers, Patriots at Pittsburgh.
Win.
Have Patriots winning that game. Bouncing back. So I have one. Make sure you keep score.
I got it.
Ravens, Patriots.
Come on now.
Ravens traveling to New England.
Loss. Loss.
I have the Patriots. That's a tough game. Patriots at home against the Ravens is a tough game. I'm going to have Baltimore win it. So Patriots lose that game. That's tough. That's tough.
But
I think Patriots. I wouldn't be surprised if Patriots win that one. Then, and that's the home opener. I'm changing my pick. Patriots beating the Baltimore Ravens at home. I got 2.
okay, so what am I at right now? I'm at 2-1.
Patriots visiting. Listen, let's not make this long. Patriots visiting Green Bay.
Patriots are 2-2 after week 4, bro. For me.
Yeah, that's a loss. Lions at New England.
Win.
Win, me too. Patriots at Cleveland facing Jacoby Brissett's Cleveland Brown.
Win. So I got him at West.
Yeah, I have a win as well for Patriots.
Yep.
Bears visiting New England.
Win.
Same. Patriots visiting the Jets.
Win.
Loss. Colts visiting Patriots.
Win.
Colts with Matt Ryan. I think Patriots win that game. Jets visiting Patriots.
Win.
Have Patriots winning. Patriots at Minnesota.
Loss.
Same. Buffalo Bills at the Patriots.
Loss.
Same. Patriots at Arizona.
Loss.
And mind you, that's 3 games, all what you call primetime games. The Minnesota
And they're
games
losing
prime
all
time.
of them.
Buffalo is prime time. Cardinals is prime time.
Patriots gonna have a rough
It's a
second
tough
half
schedule.
of the season.
It's a
After
tough
the bye
schedule.
week, it gets rough. Go ahead, keep going.
Then they go visit Josh McDaniels prime time.
Loss.
God.
It's a rough second half of the season, bro.
Oh,
After the
God.
bye in Las Vegas
I think-
with that team. Oh boy.
I think Belichick pulls out all the stops and it's a win.
Keep going.
Bengals at Patriots.
Loss.
Yeah, that's a L. Dolphins at Patriots.
I believe I said
You're gonna say
Win.
so you're gonna have Patriots beat the Dolphins twice.
wait. I said
You had them winning the first week.
nah, this one's gonna be a loss. I had a loss when I was going through this.
Okay. And then I had them losing that so I have them winning this one. And then Patriots at Buffalo.
Loss.
I have them losing. So that gives me a 9-8 record.
That's the same thing I came up with. And mind you, again, Marvin and I didn't go through this. This is the first time we're going through this schedule at all together. And we both have the Patriots at 9-8. And
Different wins and losses.
different wins
here
and
there.
losses, but we still came out with the same record. And I think it just goes to show you what we can expect from this team. A 9-8 record can get you maybe a wild card spot. And at the same time, you easily on the outside looking in of the playoff picture. That's what we think about this team. That's what I think.
Wow.
That's what Marv thinks. They're right on the brink of maybe scratching the playoffs and maybe being completely out. And who knows? A couple things can shake out a certain way. Hey, maybe they sitting at 11 wins. 12 wins asking way too much.
Let's keep it calm,
Between
brother.
9 and 11, I'm going to stay right there. Anything less than 9, oh, everybody got to go. Belichick.
Chill out. They go if they get 7 wins, everyone's got to go. They're gonna. It's in the realm of if we have 9 wins, it's in the realm of possibility. They get 7
Anything
wins.
less than 9 wins, bro, is a problem. If they are
You
blessed,
can't have a projection of 9 wins and have that be the floor.
This team better not be below 500.
Sheesh.
Or
this team is very. You have them 9-8, bro. It's as close as 500 as it gets.
And I was probably a little rough on a couple of them games where I could have said, man, like maybe I should have gave them that Dolphins game to start the year.
So you would have them beating the Dolphins twice, which they haven't done ever.
Oh yeah. So, like I said, 9-8. I'm right around there. It's either they barely make the playoffs or they out. It could come down to like the final weeks of the season where like, yo, they need to get this win. You never know.
It's a rough schedule.
It's a rough and I think when I was doing it, going win by win, coming out of the bye week, I had Patriots at like 7-2. And then, bro, that stretch of Vikings, Buffalo, Cardinals, Raiders, Bengals.
All primetime games. That's the crazy
part. Lost. Bro, that's a wild stretch. I'm telling you, at the bye week, I had Patriots at like 7-2. And when I was doing that first, I was like, oh, damn, bitch. Patriots about to win the AFC, bro. Patriots about to win the AFC. Then I'll see what's after the bye week. And they quickly got to 500 real quick. So, hey, let's just hope that because preseason was rough.
Yeah, it wasn't pretty.
Preseason was really rough. But let's just hope and believe that, you know, preseason out the picture, you got all your starters out there, you got everybody healthy. And at the end of the day, regardless of who's out there on offense, who's out there on defense, who the coordinators are or the offensive coaches, whatever the hell you want to call it, Bill Belichick is still the coach of this team. And that's what I always fall back on. If there's a guy who knows how to win games and have winning seasons with various situations, various personnel. Obviously, he had a lot of those seasons with the GOAT as his quarterback. But if there's a guy who knows and sees a lot of various situations and circumstances and different types of players come through the organization and still manage to be somewhat successful over all of his years, it's Bill Belichick. So that's what I hang my hat on. And I'll never say definitively, as long as Belichick's still the coach, oh, the season's over. Oh, this is a wash. I don't even care what happens. I'm always going to have that one little ounce of maybe they'll find a way, make the playoffs, maybe they'll make some noise. As long as Belichick is still the head coach.
Yeah, they did it last year and got their ass beat like by 50. So
that's just what it is.
So we'll see how this season turns out. Patriots 22 preview show. We both have the Patriots going 9-8. We can post that our prediction and see how we do with that. Mike, nice man. Any last words on this season?
I mean, obviously we're gonna continue to follow what's happening with the Patriots. Obviously, if there's any type of wild news that goes on within all of the NFL, you know Marvin and I are gonna be here to have that conversation on Double M. So stay locked for all you Patriots fans, for all you NFL fans. Those who have been rocking with us from the jump, who know that this is what we do.
Yeah, but Patriots Talks where it all really started.
Facts.
This is
Double
M Live. That's Mr. Mike Nice, DJ Mees, Double M to the moon. We out.